Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, a good Monday morning to you, and welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things this morning. Bigly, Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jared Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jared-construction.com. Phone calls to the show with service of Bigly, Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street, Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor on Virginia Street, downtown Charleston. Tony, open today and tomorrow, 10 till 6. Christmas Eve day, 10 till 2. Will be closed Christmas Day and then the day after Christmas. Reopening on Saturday, this Saturday from 10 till 3. Monday edition of the show, just a couple of days away from Christmas Eve. Coming up later on in the show, former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones, fresh off his visit to California, is going to be with us on the show. There's quite a mess in Nitro yesterday as a water main break closed some streets and flooded some houses there. Joe Stevens from the City of Nitro, Public Information Officer, is going to join us to talk about that. Plus your calls and texts too. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. Welcome to the show now. Current Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin. Good morning, Mayor. Welcome to the show and Merry Christmas.
Good morning and Merry Christmas to you.
Great to have you here. We're going to get into some Christmas stuff a little bit later on in the segment, but I did want to get to this first. Word has come that the Charleston Opioid Community Council has approved 14 different groups to get around $540,000 in total to promote treatment for prevention of and recovery from substance abuse. Charleston got $1 million total. This council was formed to distribute the money. Kind of take the story from there, and then we'll break it down.
Yeah, sure. Well, this community council is certainly going to be charged with distributing a portion of these funds, and we can talk about that in a minute. And you say 540, and here's Christmas just a few days away, and you know this because I say this to you all the time, and you know who I am. I'm a mayor, yeah, but I'm a mom and I'm a wife first, and so when I think about this funding and I think about the people who do the great work, who the funding is going to, I also think about the families who are going to be sitting around a table with an empty chair, a mom, a dad, a sister, a brother, a cousin, a wife, a husband who's not going to be there. And so really what I want folks to know about every dollar that's going to be spent, that is top of mind for all of the folks who are on this council. And the chair, Matthew Sutton, our chief of staff, who you know very well, Dave, has done a beautiful job with this council. It is, to say it is on his mind every day is the understatement. He has worked literally, not just for the past 7 years for this administration, but his whole life taking care of people. And so I did want to give a shout out to Matthew, who does such beautiful work, and Margaret O'Neill with United Way. So what happened was we formed the community council to take a portion of our opioid funds to divvy up between amazing community groups that do this work day in and day out. Folks like, Family Care Health Center or Health Right, Angie Settle, Angie, Bob Burdette. Pastor Farmer does an amazing job with our littles after school, RCCR, and so many other great organizations, Cabin Creek. I could go on, a Ray of Hope. I could go on and on. But it's to take these funds and put them in 3 different buckets. It was supposed to be for, and it will be used for, prevention, treatment, and recovery. So we have 3 buckets after we formed this council to divvy it up. We worked with United Way. They helped us score. They helped us read. And by the way, this was an amazing process. Katharina at the United Way, every time I go over and talk to her, Margaret O'Neill says, stand away from her, Amy. Stop talking so closely because she thinks I'm going to steal her. This woman is just so incredibly organized and thoughtful and reflective, and she helped lead this council of amazing folks in these 3 different buckets to take these funds to say, okay, who is going to do the work and what is the best and highest use for this money? So Dr. Cynthia Pearsley, Martha Carter, you can't say women's health or treatment without saying the name Martha Carter, Bill Woodrum, who, again, is just an amazing champion for our community, Sarah Stone. One of our community folks, Ashley McElwee, who I met with, including several council members, over the development of what this should look like. Again, this is a portion of our funds. Some of our remaining opioid settlement funds will go to the implementation of programs that we have through our care team. It's something we started in 2019, which is boots on the ground, people every day. When somebody overdoses in the city of Charleston, by the way, Dave, if your listeners don't know, we're on your doorstep within hours to say, what can I do? How may I help you? Because we know that you can't get into recovery if you're not alive. We need you alive, and we need to get you into recovery because, again, as I started this conversation, I want to make sure people are hearing these are people's children that they have buried. And I cannot imagine a more painful way of living your life than without a child or a spouse, because I know how much I'm going to wrap my arms around my family this Christmas and into the new year, and families aren't. So a shout out to not only our council, but to these amazing organizations who do the work day in and day out. Because, by the way, Dave, it's hard stuff, man. It is hard to have somebody go into recovery, and by the way, 3 weeks out, and they're using again and again and again. And it is about resiliency, and it's about patience. It is about kindness. And, oh, by the way, isn't that who we're supposed to be about? Isn't that what this season reminds us, is to love one another, to be kind to one another, and to do the hard work for one another. It's about service.
Talking again with Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. Get the Huston's Holiday Pack, a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza, 10 breadsticks, 12 hot wings, and a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi, only $33.99. Mayor, you mentioned looking around that table. And unfortunately, we've seen this all over West Virginia and in Appalachia. You look around that table and you talked about a empty chair. In many families, Mayor, there's more than one empty chair because it runs in families.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And, there is not, including mine, there is not one family who hasn't been touched with it. I don't care who you are. I don't care what county you live, what state you live, what economic class you find yourself falling into, what professional organization you find yourself associated with. It happens to everyone. And the grief is monumental and it is deep. But the only hope that I have is to work and support the work of folks. And again, to not judge, but to open up our head and our hearts, most important, to those families who are going through it, and be supportive of them, because that's when the rubber meets the road, when you are putting another child into recovery over and over and over again. I cannot fathom what that is like. But what I can do is be supportive of our friends and family and our community members. And as a reminder, always to myself, because I'll just be honest, Dave, there are folks in town who I know, who we work with, who have found themselves without a home, and sitting on the sidewalks with them and talking to them saying, come on, you know what we can do. You know what you can do. And having this replay over and over and over again, I say that people are worth it. Every life is so valuable. And it's, if you don't have somebody sitting in that seat this year, how does that make you feel? How would you chew and swallow that? I promise you, I would not do a good job doing that. There's a mom right now who is going through that, a dad, a brother, a sister, a husband, a wife, grandparents. We are so blessed that Booth and I have both of our parents, to also sit with us, and for them to see us and for us to have our children there. That isn't the way that it always is in these 55 counties. So I think if there's one message during the season, I always think of, because, you do this, we all run, right? Run, work. We're doing good work. we feel like it's important, but to stop and be thankful, and also be reflective about how we may, not just as a capital city, but as a state, say, am I doing enough? Am I being thoughtful? I take a page from my mother's book all the time. We were raised Catholics. Catholics who are listening know we're kind of weird people. We're allowed. Catholics are allowed to say that about ourselves, but to say a prayer, to light a candle, to do whatever you need to do. By the way, give money, give time, give energy, give patience to folks. Boy, that's a gift this holiday season.
Indeed it is. We're talking to Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin. Before we let you go, when I announced on the show, I said on Friday you're going to be here. We had a couple quick questions for you. And I wanted to talk down the opioid thing, but I have two questions here for you. Then I want to give you a chance to wrap up the year. A text says, for Amy on Monday, this came in on Friday, if we are on a supervisor's recycling route and they don't pick up the bins and need bags, will the city supply bags for recycling since the bins aren't picked up?
Yeah, if this listener could call me at 304-348-8174, let me troubleshoot that for you. I'm happy to. 304-348-8174. Call right this very second. We'll pick up your call and let us troubleshoot that for you.
All right, another question said, all over the west side, there are fire hydrants with different color circles on them. Can you update us on the status of those?
Yeah, I can't speak directly. I'm not sure what the listener or what the texter is referring. If you also want to call me, 304-348-8174. I don't want to give any misinformation. I don't know if that is just, sometimes there are different lines. Sometimes it's different testing. And so I certainly don't want to give any misinformation on something that is super important to folks, including myself.
All right. Before we let you go, Christmas is, of course, we've been talking about this week. So some of the services will be delayed. Some will be a little bit early. You do a great job on your social media sites of the city, letting people know. But they may want to go check those out before they put the garbage out or whatever this week.
Yeah, again, a shout out to our team. I always say, Dave, I'm just one of, over 750 employees in the city of Charleston. Modified schedules for not only Christmas, but New Year's as well. So Tuesday, if your trash will be collected Monday, today. It just goes up a day. Wednesday, it's Tuesday. Thursday, it's Wednesday. Friday, it's Friday. Ta-da. Mm-hmm. And then just check our social. I mean, Tina does an amazing job at the City of Charleston, WV, on our social media platforms. Or again, and this is how I spent my Friday as well. How I try to spend all my Fridays. I can't get to all of them, but I try because I get so many in a week, and I'm so thankful, you guys, for you. 304-348-8174. Please call me. I don't always have time to call every single person back, but I spent an hour last Friday, and I try to, at the end of every week, calling people to say, thanks for your call, let me troubleshoot this. And even for people just calling to say, hey, thanks to my refuse guys, because, boy, they burn the midnight oil. We forget. Sometimes we're cozy inside in our slippers and our little warm-ups, and our guys aren't. Mm-hmm. They're burning it, and especially our guys. Thank you so much. Mother Nature has given us a lot of snow and ice, so thank you for being kind. And again, here goes the word patient with our city employees. They do incredible work, and they are doing what they do the same reason I am doing what I do. I won't do this forever. Hopefully I'll just do it 4 more years. But I love this community, and I love service, and I love helping people. And so just as a reminder, they do it because they also love it as well. And they love our neighbors like I do. They have great relationships with folks. So get to know, if you don't know them, get to know your refuse, your recycling, get to know those folks.
All right. Before we let you go, this is probably, unless something pops up, probably the last time we'll talk this year. Aww. I'm going to give you, well, maybe not. You just never know. But I want to allow you, if you'll pardon the bad pun, to put a bow, put a bow on Christmas in Charleston, the year in Charleston, and the look ahead to 2026.
Thanks. So, but that is nice of you.
I'm a nice guy.
actually, you know what? You are one of my very favorite people. I've known you forever and a decade, and you are. We've come a really long way, and we started with a vision of vibrancy for the city of Charleston in 2019, and I can't say that that's changed. Every decision that we make in the city of Charleston is done with the thought of how do we improve the lives of all? What can we do to be better and to do better? John Kennedy Bailey, who is a very dear friend of mine and my husband's, who passed away several years ago, used to say that we can do better and we can be better. And every day we should strive to do that. But I'm extremely proud of the renewal, the renovation of so many places and spaces that we love, the investment in our infrastructure, but most important, our kiddos, to feeding their bodies and their hearts and their heads with a positive atmosphere and goodwill towards them. So I don't know. I leave this year, I say it every year, ready for the next year. I still feel that spring. I still feel that excitement. And I haven't made too many New Year's resolutions because that's not the type of person I am. I don't do that because I'm always so worried. I make them as I go throughout the year. But I'm starting this new year with big energy, and I'm really excited about what's to come because I will say the next time that we talk, I'm going to have some great things to announce. Well,
and we'll be eagerly anticipating it. Mayor Goodwin, appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your Christmas season. We'll talk in the new year. Thanks a lot.
Merry Christmas, my friend.
9:23, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. So Lane Go Law Light the Night continues to go ballpark every night except for Christmas night. Get your tickets in advance. Please get them in advance by visiting dblightthenight.com. Former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones is coming up, and we're going to go to Nitro after the break and talk to Joe Stevens about that water main break they had there yesterday. Listen to the Dave Allen Show, 580 Live, the voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
As you shop for others, 4th Avenue Financial invites you to give yourself the gift of professional financial planning. What better way to start the new year than consolidating old 401ks, examining your current investments, and preparing for retirement? Call me, John Burdett, at 304-746-7977 or contact us at 4thavenuefinancial.com.
Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Incorporated, JW Cole Financial, JW Cole Advisors, and 4th Avenue Financial are unaffiliated entities.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
At Garib Dental Group, we love to see your smile. Take proactive steps towards optimal oral health with our comprehensive preventive care services. Our team of experienced doctors at 6 convenient locations is passionate about keeping your smile healthy and bright. From regular checkups and cleanings to advanced treatment, we are here to prevent dental issues before they start. Visit GaribDentalGroup.com to learn more and experience personalized care tailored to your needs. Garib Dental Group, where your smile receives the care it deserves.
9:25, a Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine, a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetronews.com. Under the podcast menu. Danny Jones coming up a little bit later on. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-5008. A mess yesterday in Nitro after a water main break with West Virginia American Water. Joe Stevens is with the City of Nitro, and he joins us now. Joe, good morning, and welcome to the show.
David, good morning. I hope you're enjoying the 22nd of December today.
I am enjoying it, but what can you tell us about that water main break yesterday, Joe?
Well, yesterday, approximately 8:20 or so, the Nitro Fire Department received a call from Metro 911 that a water main break had occurred in the backyard of a DuPont Avenue resident. The fire department got on scene just minutes later. surveyed the affected area, and then had Metro 911 contact West Virginia American Water and expedite their response. What we've come to learn, they had already were informed by customers in the affected area, and were, they were up to speed on it. In fact, they were on the scene of the break at 8:40 to shut off a 16-inch main water line. At that time, the command on site for the fire department, Captain Mathis, discussed the situation with the on-site supervisor, determined the affected area. It was a square area affecting over, they determined around over 300 customers, and the possible length for the repair. West Virginia Water began communicating with their customers at that time about the situation, what happened, what was being done, and what needed to be done when the water comes back on. So that's at that time around 9:30 or so, the fire department, with the water receding and everything, and with American Water on the site, we returned to the firehouse and just to monitor the situation to see if there was anything else that we needed to do, or just to be ready if there was something that we did need to do.
Talking again with Joe Stevens, and we know some of the cleanup is continuing, but the things have been repaired and the water is back on, right?
Yeah, in fact, kudos to West Virginia American Water. They brought in ServPro quite quickly, and ServPro began restoration in the affected homes and the garages and some of the businesses that were flooded. They began restoration yesterday afternoon. We got a report from American Water that at 4:30 yesterday afternoon that the service was going to come back on around 10 o'clock. I started getting calls from city officials that live in the affected area that they had gotten water back at 7 o'clock. And then we were trying to stay in tune. Not only was American Water pushing out information through their customer information service all afternoon on the situation, but we were trying to keep people up to speed through social media and answering any phone calls that I was trying to keep city council up to speed, because councilmen in that area were getting calls, keeping them up to speed, keeping city manager and the mayor up to speed on everything, because they were getting calls. And we were learning through social media that were responding to our posts that the water was starting to come back on, after 7 o'clock. And then we got a word from American Water at 8:30 that all service had been returned. Talking to our public works folks this morning, they were on site just looking at the situation, and they observed also that ServPro was back there handling some of the restoration from yesterday's event.
Approximately, just give me a ballpark figure. Again, we're talking with Joe Stevens from the City of Nitro. Give me a ballpark figure on the number of residents and businesses that were impacted by this.
That you would have to get that from. I really don't know, Dave.
Okay.
That would be a stat that would have to come from American Water.
And you were quite complimentary. You and I were texting back and forth last night. You were quite complimentary of the water company in the way they handled this.
Dave, to be honest with you, if I had a house in the affected area and I had 5 feet of water in my basement, my thought process would be different. But our thoughts and concerns are out to those folks. But every time we were looking for information from American Water, we were being told. The fire chief was in touch with the supervisor as it pertains to any type of need that we would need for the fire hydrant scenario and that sort of thing. We're making a plan if we had to bring in tankers or that sort of thing. But questions were being answered that we were asking in a quick amount of time. The supervisor, there were 6 to 8 inches, 12 inches of mud. When they were answering my questions when I got on site yesterday morning.
Joe Stevens, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Have a great Christmas, my friend. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Christmas Day, we could get a pretty good present, at least beat the Commodores, huh? Commanders or whatever they are.
The Commodores. Yeah, we're taking out Lionel Richie. That's a good. Well, somebody, several people sent me this meme the other day about our beloved Dallas Cowboys, and it said, yet again, the Cowboys enjoy home field advantage in the playoffs, meaning their Dak is on the couch watching it. So there you go, just like I am.
There you go.
All right.
Hey, Dave, again, our wishes and our thoughts go out to the affected homes and everything during this time of year especially.
Yeah.
You can't plan on water lines breaking. You really can't. And it's just like when your heat pump goes out and it's 2 below zero and you're looking for a repairman. It's just something that unfortunately happened, and we tried to get the information out as best as we could. Dave, you have a great, great Christmas and a New Year. Always a pleasure talking to you, and let's go O's.
All right.
Alonzo, man.
All right. We'll talk soon, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
28 minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Insurance agents in demand of the state and all across the country. Bridge Valley can help you take that first step. Their insurance pre-sales licensure course will get you ready to sit in for the state-required property and casualty insurance licensure exam. Start your career in this ever-growing field. Check out bridgevalley.edu for details. Bridge Valley Community Technical College, your career starts here. Quick programming note, high school basketball coming up tonight on WCHS. Hurricane will travel to GW, take on the Patriots. We'll have coverage following Sportsline. Coming up on the local show tomorrow, Delegate Andy Shamlin will be stopping by. There's some traffic work going on in cross lanes. We're going to talk to Delegate Shamlin about that. Also, tomorrow, Rusty Webb will be on the show tomorrow as well. Later today, Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me, brought to you by Salango Law. Outgoing UMWA President Cecil Roberts will stop by, just named West Virginian of the Year by the Gazette-Mail in their weekend edition. He's on the show today. It's Monday, meaning we're going to introduce you to another great mayor from around the states on the Mayor Monday segment. Today we're going to go to Summersville, introduce you to Mayor Schaefer there in Nicholas County. Also, an in-studio visit from former America's Got Talent winner Landau Eugene Murphy Jr. and West Virginia-based singer Della Nora. They're out on the road with Landau's Home for the Holidays Christmas Tour, the concert they have tonight at the Alban in St. Albans. They're going to talk about that. Jeff Jenkins will be here with the news. TJ Meadows is back following a week off, and of course we'll get to Open Line, West Virginia. Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron, ME, powered by Salango Law, coming up at noon today. All right, programming note, to cancel out the programming note I just gave you, Jeff Jenkins told me they just found out that the GW and Hurricane game has actually been moved to tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. We'll take a break. Danny Jones coming up next on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
I'm John Carruthers, the owner of Best Virginia Heating and Cooling. I'm born and raised right here in West Virginia. I've got 3 daughters, so I absolutely care who comes into my home. Every technician we send to your home has been drug tested and background checked. I guarantee the best client experience or your money back. We have the best team and the best processes built around a 5-star experience. Call Best Virginia today at 681-655-1214.
Merry Christmas. This is Richard Lindsay, and it's been my pleasure to serve as your judge in 2025, and I look forward to another year on the bench, serving the people of Kanawha County and all of West Virginia. Christmas is the most wonderful time of year, and I hope that in the midst of all the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, we can all pause just for a moment and reflect on all we have to be thankful for. Merry Christmas to everyone, and may your 2026 be the best year ever. God bless you. Paid for by Richard Lindsay for Judge.
Ho, ho, ho! It's Dave Allen for Generations Ford, and it's the most wonderful time of the year until you forget gifts for the in-laws and the car payments due Christmas Eve. Don't worry. At Generations Ford of Hurricane, drive home a new or quality pre-owned Ford with no payments for 90 days. Stuff your stocking with an F-150, a family-ready Explorer, or any pre-owned vehicle, and keep your wallet happy. Hurry to Generations Ford of Hurricane or generationsford.com today. Merry Christmas! No payments for 90 days on approved credit. See dealer for details.
One destination for every generation. Generations Ford.
Welcome back to the show. 24 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Line, brought to you in part by Rich the Realtor and Meeks Realty Group. Check out this beautiful home in one of Winfield's great neighborhoods, just moments away from award-winning schools. Find all sorts of modern updates, open floor plan, a large stylish kitchen, perfect for cooking and gathering. Spacious primary suite includes a walk-in closet and updated bath. The outside, plenty of great space for relaxing, for pets, whatever you want to do out there. It's move-in ready too, full of comforts. Start the new year in a new home. Contact Rich the Realtor 304-932-7488 or email Rich Klein, Klein with a K, K-L-I-N-E, richklein66 at gmail.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. Another quick programming note, just 2 days away from our annual Jewish Christmas Spectacular with Mike Pushkin and myself. The Amos Steel Band will be in studio with us. Other great musicians will stop by for a little holiday cheer, some great music and all-around fun, brought to you by Richard Lindsay. Open invite to anybody who wants to stop by the studio. You don't even have to bring food. You can, but you don't necessarily have to. That's coming up on the show on Wednesday. Danny Jones is here. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, always. How was California?
It was nice. It's always nice. You guys were... I was 60 degrees out there, and you guys were back here at 15.
Yeah, and snow and ice. Picked a good time to go. But what is it about California that you like so much, and what is your original appeal of California? I mean, I know you were out there when you were in the Marines, right? But,
yeah. It's Southern California is it's just beautiful, and it's not too hot, and it's windy, and I have friends there. And I have, I'm a member of a group out there, and we do stuff together. But my closest friend is a guy named Brian, and he was the 2023 Firefighter of the Year for Long Beach, California. Nice. And we had dinner together last Sunday night.
All right. So if I ever make it out to Long Beach, California, where do I need to go to dinner? I'm always concerned about these things, Danny.
Oh, it's not hard.
Okay. What's your favorite one or two spots out there?
Well, there's a place near my hotel called Patty's, and it's a small version of Lowry's.
Okay.
And then on 2nd Street in Long Beach, see, Patty's is in Seal Beach, but Long Beach has 2nd Street. 2nd Street, there's a bunch of places, and there's a place out there called Nick's on 2nd. I'd recommend that. Nick's on 2nd.
Nick's on 2nd.
Or any of those places.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all good.
If you're on 2nd Street, there's plenty of
That's
good.
the place to go for the food, huh?
That's right.
I'll have to remember that. So last time we talked 2 weeks ago, you were waiting on more books to come in. And is that going to be a thing?
They're not going to be here by Christmas.
Okay, well, I figured that, but
yeah,
a couple days away.
24th of November, I sent them $5,400. And I couldn't imagine them not being here by Christmas.
Right, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And this is the only time I ever imagined hearing Charlie Ryan almost lose his temper.
Really?
On this conference call. And the owner said, "Charlie, I've never heard you talk like that." Now, I don't make money off these books. I lose money. But people want them, and I want to take care of the supply. I've got 200 more coming in. 50 will go to West Virginia Books over on the west side. And 140 will go, if they still want them, to Taylor's.
I'm sure they will.
If they still want them.
Have you talked to anybody since we talked 2 weeks ago that has read the book and given you any more feedback on it? Because the people I've talked to that read it love it. But have you had anybody recently that just said, "Hey, I just got your book"? I mean, I know they're out right now, but I mean, somebody just got around to reading it.
A couple of people online, but that's about it.
All right. Well, we get those new ones in for the new year. Let's talk a little news. Looks like we may be going to war with Venezuela.
Well, it's not constitutional, but Maduro is a really bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just a bad guy. And if you could replace him with that woman that should be there, it'd be like making sausage to make it happen. But but it sure would be nice to see.
I don't think anybody's going to argue with Maduro not being exactly a Boy Scout here. But remember, this is a president who was pretty much opposed to what we did in Iraq, 20 years ago. The weapons of mass. He was an early critic of that, and he basically, Danny, ran on not getting us involved in more wars.
Well,
but things happen. I mean, I get it. Things happen.
No, he's wagging the dog. There's a new word out there everybody's using.
Yeah.
It's called affordability.
Affordability. It's like Groucho Marx. It should just drop from the ceiling,
And so when things start going bad for a president, he either leaves the country or he wags the dog. And down there in Venezuela, we're wagging the dog.
So some Friday night, I guess they had till midnight Friday night for the release of the Epstein files, and parts came out. There were some things that were put online and then were taken down. Of course, they were highly redacted. We knew they would be. The Democrats aren't happy with it. Well, I mean, we just knew that they would be because they've got victims and things of that nature. But the Democrats aren't happy. They were making their rounds on the Sunday morning shows yesterday, talking about holding Pam Bondi in contempt because this was not what was agreed upon. Your thoughts?
Well, they sure didn't hide that picture of President Clinton in the pool with Maxwell. What's her name?
Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah.
Yeah. They certainly. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was in the hot tub with him, and I don't know what to think about it. I think that you lose your credibility when you make an agreement. You don't live up to it.
Yeah, and this was all about transparency, and a lot of people are saying this is not being very transparent, Danny.
Well, you remember Trump made a big issue out of it.
Sure did. Yeah.
And he made a big issue out of it, and then all of a sudden they become available, and it's old news and all that stuff.
Well, I think, too, anybody, and I've said this since day one, people have been wanting that smoking gun. We're going to get this Democrat, or we're going to get Trump, or whatever. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein was a very, very wealthy man. He was an influencer. People in power seek out other people in power. So it's not surprising to me, and of course the president talked about them having a falling out, a long time ago. It wasn't surprising to me that President Trump's name was thrown out there, or Bill Clinton's name was thrown out there, or anybody else, or the prince and whatever, because successful, wealthy, in-demand people are with other in-demand people, Danny.
Yeah. But because President Trump, I mean, he said they fell out. That doesn't actually mean they fell out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't actually have the most credibility.
Yeah.
And when he said what he said about Rob Reiner, that moved the needle for me. I didn't think you could move it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
well, I think it did for a lot of people. But I've had a lot of texts to the show, this show and the midday show, and people say nothing compared to the vile things that were said about Charlie Kirk.
Not by Rob Reiner.
No. Well, Rob Reiner said, I mean, he did say, with all due respect, he did say some very, very vile things about the president, as others did. That's my point. I'm saying he did. He did say, but
you know what I learned? I learned from Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
You don't punch down at people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just unnecessary for the president to thrust himself in there.
Right.
I was so angry at that, and I wasn't necessarily a fan of Rob Reiner, even though if I would have been a young man and trying to court some young lady, I'd have taken her to see When Harry Met Sally. You know,
it was a classic.
You know, President Ford's son Stephen was in that movie.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. I know he was a soap star, but I didn't know he was in that movie.
When Meg Ryan got on the plane, when Billy Crystal was behind her,
mm-hmm.
and she was walked to the plane by Stephen Ford.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Going back to the Epstein files, I have a text here, Danny. It says, the Epstein files get released, and no doubt all the nosy people can't wait, just like they stick their nose in the business of folks they work with. Give it up, losers. Get a life. There's no death nail info about Donald Trump. As for me, I couldn't care less. That's what a texter says.
Well, how does he know? First thing, I never cared about it. Trump's the one that made it an issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he aroused my curiosity. And we ought to see him. We haven't had a smoking gun in Congress since Watergate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the show that day.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Watergate hearings.
Yeah.
I worked all night at the Charleston Athletic Club, and I'd get up and I'd watch the Watergate hearings. And Alexander Butterfield was there, and Fred Thompson said, are you aware of a recording device in the Oval Office? He said, yep. So that's the only smoking gun I know. Congressional hearings do not produce what is intended to be produced. The January 6 hearings, they were pretty good if you watched them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a Trump person, you're not going to watch those hearings. Cassidy Hutchinson really... She was pretty good. It was all good.
Yeah. Let me knock out a couple textures. Texas, seems to me there's a pedophile protection organization in the federal government that spans all political ideologies, says the texture. Text says, Dave, and I think I was trying to read this. I think they meant wasn't, but they said was. Rob Reiner, so I'm going to go ahead and change it. Rob Reiner wasn't president of the United States of America. Your callers aren't near the caliber of Rob Reiner, says the texter. Text says, Danny, January 6th was a smoking gun, literally.
Okay.
See, that's what moved the needle for me on Trump was January 6th.
Oh, no. Remember, I didn't vote for the guy.
Yeah.
And won a real nice bet for that election.
I'm aware of the bets. I'm aware of the
bet. And because I bet on Biden big time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I knew Trump wasn't going to win. He didn't just lose. He lost big.
Mm-hmm.
He lost by 7 million votes. But you mean the actual invasion, the insurrection?
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Okay,
mm-hmm.
That's fair enough. But I'm talking about a surprise hearing when somebody's under oath.
Mm-hmm.
Those hearings just don't produce what they're meant to produce.
Yeah. Talking with former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Generations Ford of Hurricane. Drive home in a new or quality pre-owned Ford with no payments to qualified buyers for 90 days. Generations Ford, just off the Hurricane exit of I-64 or online, generationsford.com. One destination for every generation, Generations Ford. See dealer for details. Coming back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jarrett Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jarrett Construction.
This holiday season, Poca Valley is grateful for the trust you place in us. We appreciate your business and the relationships we've built together at each of our 8 locations. And we're growing with a new branch in downtown Charleston opening in the new year. It's all part of being there for you when and where you need us. This Christmas, take time to cherish moments with loved ones and remember the reason for the season. From all of us at Poca Valley, Merry Christmas.
Fall is here, and the only thing that's falling faster than the leaves in West Virginia are the prices on Jeep Grand Cherokees at Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Hurricane. Right now, Gene and Ryan have over 50 Grand Cherokees in stock, and each one of them have been marked down. Walker has the largest selection of Grand Cherokees in the Kanawha Valley, and all of them need new homes. Check this out. Grand Cherokee Limited with third row seating, now Walker priced with up to $11,000 off MSRP. And you know you're going to get the best deal possible at Walker because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals. So don't wait. Take advantage of these great savings before Old Man Winter settles into the Mountain State for good. Take that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just off the Hurricane exit of I-64. Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
Welcome back to the show. It's 8 away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Poor indoor air quality can cause a variety of health issues, allergies, respiratory problems, and more. Pinnacle offers specialized indoor air quality services for residential, commercial, and industrial type settings. Visit pinnaclecorp.net. Because what you don't know can't hurt you. Danny Jones is here. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly. Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaler text 304-935-5008. Text Danny says, let Jack Smith testify in public and there will be plenty of smoking gun moments.
Well, yeah, there will be. And he will be testifying in public when the Democrats take over the House next year. And the Democrats will take over the House. They might do it this year if these Republicans keep resigning.
Yeah. Texas, so what? Wow. What we conservatives are sick of is the selective outrage by those who act like the morality police and are the most immoral people on the planet. They're constantly nasty, vile, and hate-filled and pushing violence and death upon opponents. Funny how we've been referred to as the enemy by this tolerant bunch for 10 years now with not one condemnation from any of their leaders.
These people aren't conservatives.
Yeah, I mean,
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is, I mean, whether you like the guy or don't, Donald Trump is the least conservative. I mean, there's nothing about Donald Trump that is conservative. Nothing.
He's an eviscerator. He wants to eviscerate anything that's on the left, and he wants to destroy it, or dumb it down, like putting his name on the Kennedy Center.
Now, I want to ask you your opinion of that.
Do you know that I gave money to that back in '64 when I was a kid at Greenbrier Military School? I asked my mother. I gave her $5. I said, I'd like to give. We were Nixon people. We were Republicans. I'd like to give some money to the Kennedy Center. She said, okay. And I got a card from Jackie thanking me for my contribution.
For your $5.
For my $5.
Maybe they should have put your name on it. Could have been the Jones-Trump Kennedy Center.
No, I don't think so.
There seems to be this back and forth, though, and I watched one of my favorite people, Sarah Isger, on This Week yesterday.
Yours and mine.
And she was talking about that. She said that it's unlawful, that he cannot do that. And I was reading some debate on X about that, going back and forth, people saying, well, actually, he can do it. It seems to me the prevailing opinion is he can't.
You know, in the 80s, Dartmouth, the liberal people at Dartmouth had set up a shanty town in protest to apartheid in South Africa. And the Dartmouth Review, some of the people that worked there, and one night went out and destroyed it. Do you know who was on the Dartmouth Review at that time?
Who's that?
Laura Ingraham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if she did it, if she was one of the ones that did it or not.
All right, we have a text here that says he didn't name it, the board voted for it.
It doesn't matter. It takes Congress to do it. He can't. You appoint your own board and get them to vote for what you want. It's a non-starter.
There was a headline came on TV, and I want to bring this up to you about the people that are already lining up behind J.D. Vance. Marco Rubio was asking, I think, of Peace and Vanity Fair about his support, and he said that if something, and I'm very much paraphrasing, if J.D. Vance is the nominee in 2028, which, I mean, I'm pretty sure he will be. If J.D. Vance is a nominee in 2028, you can count me in as support. Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, has come out and said the same thing. Your thoughts on these people already lining up behind J.D. Vance?
And President Trump's not even through his first year.
Yeah.
But if it was me, unless the Democrats screw this up, which they could, they're famous for it.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
They'll win that election. I mean, if you put up the governor of California, that throws everything out the window.
I agree. I agree. And if you put up AOC, that's not going to happen. Or Kamala Harris, that's not going to win.
No,
that's not going to win the election.
That's not. Do you know when people complain about Kamala Harris not winning? Do you know she went 35 days without putting her mouth up to a microphone? Think about that. Mm-hmm. She didn't give a press conference. Yeah. She didn't have anything to say.
Let me knock out some text here. Text said, I didn't say a word about Trump being conservative. What I said was the constant attacks on conservatives, such as the murder of Charlie Kirk. Get it right. Text says, Vance Quayle, 2028. Text says, Dave, great to hear Mayor Danny on your program today. Merry Christmas, Mayor. So
thank you. Vance Quayle?
Yeah, I think it was a joke.
Dan Quayle?
They put the little...
He was at Cheney's funeral. I saw him in Maryland there.
Well, he's one that kind of dropped out of sight quickly.
he made a lot of money. He's living in Arizona, and he's making a fortune.
Text says, Donald Trump can do anything he wants as long as he has Congress and Supreme Court full of yes people.
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't have the Congress full of yes people. And they're starting to turn against him now.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I wanted to talk about that as we close out, Danny. I want to talk about that because there was somebody on one of the shows yesterday that said, J.D. Vance is getting all of his support. They predicted, I think it was Chris Christie, I may be wrong about that, predicted that eventually Trump's going to turn on J.D. Vance because he can't stand anybody being bigger than he is.
Not why he's just vice president.
Yeah, but if he starts getting more and more in the spotlight, I don't know. It could happen.
Well, anything could happen, but that's just, I don't think that J.D. Vance will ever give him a reason.
Okay, maybe not. TJ.
Donald Trump would love to see a Democrat elected president of the United States so he can continue the rhetoric of, look how good it was when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. He would.
If he doesn't decide to run himself.
Hey, guys, did you see where Dan Bongino quit?
Yeah,
I saw that.
He can't have his job back. It's already gotten text about it. That noon to 3 slots taken. So Dan Bongino's not. He's coming back. He's not.
God, I never liked him. I'm sorry, folks.
Right. TJ Meadows is back from vacation. What you got on the show today, buddy?
10:06. Jared Halpert of Fox News. All things Donald Trump. 10:33. Aaron DeLulo of the Poisoning Podcast. The president reclassified marijuana. We'll get into that. She doesn't like the idea. At 11:06. Taylor Richmond, chair of the West Virginia Libertarian Party, loves the idea. So we'll talk about it with him. That and much, much more.
All right, Danny, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Talk to you next week.
I hope so.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you next week. I'll see you later today on Metro News Midday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, W243DRFM Charleston, and W283AQ Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.